Thank you for joining me. I'm Alex, and I want to have a look at Harley Davidson today, which is one of the gas engine makers that I actually kind of support and kind of think has a long-term outlook that is not terrible. So with that, they make motorcycles, and they make basically the motorcycle, which kind of gives them a huge advantage in. If you ask people to name motorcycle brands, that is literally the one brand that comes up, even though you have Honda making motorcycles, you have BMW, you have a few others. But obviously, the brand recognition is there, which is a huge advantage. Current price is $31, which gives them a market cap of $4.7 billion. Dividend yield is just under 5%, which is pretty amazing, and a payout ratio of 56%, which is pretty decent considering the payout ratio. So definitely something to consider if you're a dividend investor. Revenue $5.4 billion, down from 5.7, and over the past 4 years, it went from 5.9-ish, not steadily down, but slightly down. Just about 10% to the 5.4 we have today. Earnings $424 million, down from 531, which is a pretty significant drop, but probably not something to be too concerned about. PE of 12, forward PE of 10 is pretty amazing, and obviously kind of what you need for a dividend yield of 5%. So. Total assets $10.5 billion, total liabilities $8.7 billion, which gives them total stockholders' equity of $1.8 billion, which is up slightly from just under $1.8 billion they had the previous year. So things are going in the right direction there, but not quickly, and definitely not quickly enough to actually be significant here. So overall, I have to say that they are working on an electric motorcycle. It's not the greatest in terms of range or power, but they definitely have a product, and it's definitely going to be pretty well in their lineup of mostly gas motorcycles so far. And obviously, with that being the general direction things are going in, that is a big step in the right direction, and something that most likely secures them the future. I also don't think that their gas motorcycles are going to be off the market anytime soon, and I do expect gas motorcycles to be available for purchase much longer than gas cars will be. So even beyond 2030, 2035, I expect them to be gas motorcycles, especially Harley Davidson, in showrooms, available for purchase, and people actually buying them, because obviously there's a certain sound to it, there's a certain recognition to it, and their motorcycles in general obviously don't quite pollute as much as gas cars do, because the gas mileage they get is significantly higher, and it's something that doesn't bother a whole lot of people, especially because most motorcycles are driven far less than most cars are. So overall, I would say that there are risk factors, and things could shift towards electric much more dramatically, but even then, they do have a horse in the race, so to speak, and I don't think that they're going to be in huge trouble, because it's mostly a fun vehicle. There aren't too many people who buy a Harley Davidson for their daily commute, and those luxury spendings are always going to be there. So I really don't see much in the way of risk factors that we have here right now. So overall, I would say that for a value investor, the balance sheet doesn't look great. The PE is great though, and the dividend is amazing. So it kind of just depends on how much of a bad-ish balance sheet you can deal with. Overall, I would say that even for a value investor, it's definitely something worth looking into. For a dividend investor, a dividend of just under 5% is obviously amazing. A PE of forward PE of 10 is obviously amazing, and the balance sheet you can kind of overlook because that is nothing that would hinder them in their reasonable term future. So again, if you have a reasonable expectation of things going in the right direction, I think that it's a great dividend stock right now. For a growth investor, obviously, with revenue shrinking and earnings shrinking, I don't think this is the stock for you, but it's a well-established company with a good dividend, and so value and dividend investors kind of can find something here. Obviously, always do your own research, but that's it for me for today. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe. I'm coming out with more videos every day before market open. I hope you have a successful day.